My name is Emmett-Phil Coriat. I'm the CEO of FreeOx Biotech, a Barcelona-based biopharma company, and we are developing the missing piece in stroke treatment. My background is I'm Canadian. I've been in the biopharma industry for about 30 years, had multiple exits, and recently moved to Spain in order to be able to lead this company, which has a very unique value proposition, and I'll explain to you why in the next couple of minutes. So stroke is a disease, but it is also an event. Lives are, turned around. Fabian spoke about stroke and no stroke very well. It's not really a disease. It happens in a few minutes. When you have a stroke, up to 2 million neurons die per minute. There are 13 million of them a year, and 1 in 4 of us will have a stroke in our lifetime. It means that there's a stroke every 3 seconds, and the survivors of stroke are left with permanent disability in about 50% of cases when it's a large vessel occlusion, which is the most devastating type of stroke that we are addressing at FreeOx. And what is really surprising is there hasn't been a new drug for stroke in 30 years. So that drug was launched in 1995 by Genentech, and it is a drug that basically dissolves the clot in the artery between the heart and the brain, which is called recanalization. In 2015, there was another advance in stroke called mechanical thrombectomy, which is a minimally invasive procedure, a little bit like when they put a stent in your heart, but in the artery between your heart and your brain. And that improves significantly the outcomes for patients, which means that the patients can live independently, carry out their daily tasks. But despite the event of mechanical thrombectomy, which basically removes the clot from the artery, the medical community was really surprised to discover that 50% of the patients are still left with disability and can't carry out their daily lives. And the reason is that there is something that they haven't looked at, which is the microcirculation in the brain, the smaller vessels in the brain that actually clot up, not clot up, but close up. And there's something going on there that explains why every other patient will still be disabled. What we have developed at FreeOx is focused on microcirculation, and it's reperfusing this microcirculation and is synergistic with the existing drug and mechanical thrombectomy. In 1995, this project, this drug phase 3 trial, last trial to the market, was funded by the NIH, and we have been selected by the NIH to fund our phase 3 trial. So we're in the same situation. I won't spend too much time on the mechanism of action, but basically we are a cerebroprotectant. We have multiple targets, which are both inside the blood-brain barrier, but also outside the blood-brain barrier in the endothelial cells, basically the vessels at the cusp between at the blood-brain barrier. So we're the world's first cerebroprotectant. We are synergistic with current emergency treatments, be they the thrombolytics or mechanical thrombectomy. And we've demonstrated some strong clinical results, which I'll show to you in a few minutes. And we also have an important feature is that we have a 24-hour treatment window, which largely limits the use of the current standard of care drug, which has only a 4-hour window. In an emergency setting, this is a huge advantage. We have strong IP that goes beyond 2045. And our intervention, which is a simple IV injection, is easily and seamlessly integrated in the patient flow. We've demonstrated on a 421 patient phase 2B trial a 19% effect size, which means that 19% more patients with our drug versus placebo could carry out their daily tasks and live independently, not needing nursing home care or anything like that. So a huge saving to society, and of course, an improvement for patients' lives. Our drug has an excellent safety profile. It's derived from an endogenous molecule, and it has no increased hemorrhagic risk, so we can give it early on in the emergency room. What's unique about our value proposition is that we have been evaluated against four big pharma drugs for 5 years. There was a 5-year evaluation in the largest ever translational trial for stroke. And we came out on top, and the only drug that demonstrated clear clinical efficacy in a statistically significant way. As a result, we have a 30 to 35 million diluted financing from the NIH for a phase 2B trial. A phase 2/3 trial that is starting at the end of 2026. It's an 800 patient trial that is targeting a 9.5% effect size, which in effect is half of the one you saw before. So the target is quite reasonable, and the likelihood of success is very high. With regards to our fundraising, we're currently raising a 2.5 million Series A that has been fully subscribed via Capital Cell. We just secured it last week, but we're continuing the campaign for another few weeks. And the objective, the use of proceeds, is to prepare for this phase 2B trial, phase 2B3 trial called Aurora. The minimum investment is 3,000 euros. And as a summary, why invest in FreeOx? It's a massive medical need. There's been no drug in 30 years. The burden of disease is massive, number one cause in disability. We are synergistic. We're not competing with existing treatments. It's a de-risk late-stage asset. We've got strong phase 2B data. We have a huge lever on the capital that we're raising because of the 30 to 35 million non-dilutive financing from the NIH. We're addressing an underserved, addressable market. It's a 24-hour window for the treatment in the emergency setting. We have an experienced international team, a seamless integration into clinical emergency, and we have strategic momentum towards exit. We need basically 15 million to get to an exit. And as a result of this non-dilutive funding and the results we have so far, we're expecting an ROI of around 19x.